Some cases were never solved. Some calls were never traced.
In the winter of 2009, a 32-year-old man named Daniel Harper vanished from his home in a quiet, sprawling suburban neighborhood in Ohio. When authorities entered his house, they found every door securely locked and every window completely shut. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken glass, and no physical evidence of a struggle. Investigators recovered only one piece of evidence from the property. Resting on the cold floor of the unfinished basement was Daniel's mobile phone. It was sitting by itself in the dark, still powered on. This forensic audio waveform was extracted from Daniel's phone. When mapped, the waveform splits into two distinct color-coded frequencies, indicating two voices. Daniel asks, "Who are you?" A second voice, matching his exact tone and pitch, replies, "I'm you." To understand how a man could be confronted by his vocal replica inside a sealed house, we have to look back at the week leading up to the disappearance and trace the moment his routine first began to break. Daniel lived a highly predictable life. He worked the night shift in IT. IT, or information technology, is the department responsible for managing computer and network systems. His routine was to come home late, eat, and sleep. This schedule meant his movements could be mapped with almost perfect accuracy. This chart plots escalating calls against Daniel's declining sleep. Tuesday at 3:07 a.m., an unregistered number played static and a voice asking for help. Wednesday, static became uneven breathing, speaking his name. Thursday morning, calling back revealed the number did not exist. By the third night, Daniel stopped trying to sleep. He sat in his bedroom, watching the clock move toward 3:07 a.m., waiting for the phone to ring. When the call finally came, Daniel didn't hear static. He heard the sound of slow, heavy footsteps walking across a wooden floor. The acoustics of the steps on the line matched the hardwood hallway right outside his own bedroom door. Daniel searched every room. He checked the locks. Every window was sealed. But as he stood in his empty home, the voice on the phone whispered, "I'm inside." Every lock was holding. Every window was shut. But as the voice spoke from the handset, the physical walls of the house no longer offered any sense of protection. The following day, Daniel began a search of the house's structure. He eventually descended the basement stairs, where he noticed a section of the concrete wall that looked different. The paint was slightly uneven, as if a patch had been applied recently. Daniel knocked on the wall and found a hollow spot. He pried the panel open, revealing a small compartment hidden behind the concrete. Inside was a dirt-covered box. This image shows the contents recovered from that box: a broken mobile phone, a set of brass keys, and a stack of Polaroid photographs. A Polaroid is a type of camera that produces a physical print immediately after a photo is taken. The photographs were all taken inside the house. Several showed Daniel himself, asleep in his bed. The photographs proved a chilling reality. The entity hadn't just broken in. It had been living within the walls of the house, observing Daniel's life for an extended period, waiting for him to find the box. At the bottom of the box, Daniel found a note reading, "It's already too late." At that exact moment, his phone rang. It was 3:07 a.m. He answered the call. The line was silent, but the sound of footsteps didn't come from the phone this time. They were echoing physically from the basement stairs behind him. Daniel turned around. Standing at the top of the stairs, just past the reach of the single flickering light bulb, was a dark, motionless figure. The figure spoke, its voice matching his exactly. It said, "You weren't supposed to find me." This was the final recorded interaction before the house went silent. The case was never solved, and no one knows what happened to Daniel Harper. The evidence suggests he was systematically observed and mirrored until the entity could step into his life, using his own voice and routine as a mask. The Harper house remains empty today, but neighbors still report hearing a phone ringing inside the walls at exactly 3:07 a.m. If you get a call from a number that doesn't exist, think carefully before picking up. The voice on the other end might not be a stranger. It might be the sound of someone already standing inside your home.
If you enjoyed this nightmare, Subscribe to Half Night for more horror stories at